Well, good evening, everyone. It is exactly 7:30. Um, Welcome right now, 95 folks on for our initial 2026 NJFOA off-season Zoom meeting number one. I think we have eight altogether. Just prefacing things. I hope everyone is doing well now that 2026 is in full swing, and it seems only right that we start our off-season Zoom meetings. Again, welcome to each and every one of you. Looking at the list of names, I know there's a lot of folks from years past and hopefully a few new folks as well. But I hope everyone feels welcome. And we do have the chat room open as always. So if you have something, please don't hesitate to put it in there, a question. We're going to look at some video tonight, and the theme is moving ahead to 2026. But first, looking back at some things in 2025 that, frankly, we need to do better. I believe there's officials from at least three of our four chapters in New Jersey on here tonight. Just looking at some names and having heard from some folks ahead of time. And just a short preface before that, Steve Citro is at the controls tonight. Steve, thank you as always for your time and for sharing your screen when we get to the plays that we've selected. And I know there's some other folks that uh, we've had here and run some meetings in the past for us as well. Just one real quick thing, because somebody texted me this the other day, one day last week. The 2026 preseason clinic seems like forever away, but at any rate, it is on Saturday, August 1st, at the same school we were at last year, Raritan High School. And I can't remember the name of the town. Somebody,
Haslett.
thank you. So at any rate, that'll be on Saturday, August 1st. And the registration, as always, will open in mid-May for that. I think it's somewhere around May 17th, if memory serves. So for those of you interested, that's just trying to put that on your calendar and whatnot. So, all right, with all that said, 109 people here right now. My guess is that number will continue to grow. Again, welcome, and let's get going here. We have some plays picked out. And if we were in person and not on Zoom, the first play and some others would be, there'd be that kind of a response to it. We're going to take you through these plays. The first set of plays tonight are from 2025 NJSIAA games. You see here a
Oh,
Saturday
come
afternoon
on.
game, and this is our first play.
What are you
If you
doing?
have
I
not
can't get
seen this, you'll probably be in the chat box, but please don't, no need to put in there, oh my God, whatever. This is one of those plays that would elicit, like, seriously, did this really happen? Or is this some kind of artificial intelligence, which it's not? Steve, with that said, let's roll uh, play number one for tonight under what we need to get better on in 2026 left over from 2025. And as you can see, just take a look at where the ball is and look at the receiver who started at the goal line, who was clearly backing up into his end zone as his kickoff goes down the field. Okay, Steve. Now, if you read the caption, and Steve and I went through these, and Steve was kind enough to put a caption on each of our plays, I'd ask each of you to take 15 seconds and read the caption. Okay. And as impossible, and now we're up to 117 people. That's right. As impossible as this is to believe, okay, we let this kid here in white, the receiving team guy, Timor, catch the kickoff probably 7 or 8 yards deep in the end zone and get the oh my goshes and the oh my gods out because we permit him to run the kick back, and it gets worse than that. Steve? And what we see here, all right, you see a kid down on the field there, all right, number 45 on the kicking team. Here come the trainers, here comes the coach. Sadly, folks, the play should, as we know, never happened. Now we give a very late touchback signal, All right. And that's not even the correct touchback signal. We want to stop the clock. And that signal there is really an NFL touchback signal. The college signal, I can't show you, we know we kind of go back and forth across our face up high, across our head up high. But again, if we break this play down, you think about how could this be prevented? First of all, we all know it's a dead ball in high school. Once the ball crosses the goal, the plane of the goal line, and is touched by anybody. Again, we let the guy catch it. We let him start to run it back. We get a vicious late hit that is not called. And after everything settles, we then signal a very, very late touchback. Obviously, by rule, what we should have done is, shut the play down. The clock doesn't move at all. To Steve's question here, it's dead. We don't have any time coming off the clock or anything like that. Okay, and if it's the opening kickoff of the game, there should still be 12 minutes remaining in the first period. Again, this is the first time when I got this play sent to me last fall. I like all of you, I thought this can't be, but it was. Number 45 is injured. You see even the a coach of the white team there out looking at the player. My understanding was the kid had a concussion and missed. I don't remember how long. It's not important, but we have to be significantly better than this. This is, I think, everyone on this call, on the meeting, 127 of you would concur. This is simple. This is a simple shutdown. It's a kickoff into the end zone. It's dead. There's no score. There's no touchback. There's no run back. There's no nothing. And we could have a dead ball foul, certainly. We could have that by rule, but probably with an early whistle, officials making their presence felt, coming onto the field, shutting everything down. Maybe number 45 in gray never even gets blown up. So a very, very unfortunate play. And let's face it, folks, I'd like you all to think this thing through. Here's another view of it. If this happens, we've lost the game. Okay, the game is out of the bag, and we're not going to get it back in. Okay, we're just not going to get it back in. Okay. Now, Steve, a good thing here, if we would have had a situation where the kicking team in gray has, 3-7 or 2-8, here you see they correctly have 4-6. So the kickoff itself is legal. But watch number 2 in white again, who runs back a good distance into the end zone. And, we don't shut the play down and we get in a lot of trouble for it, rightfully so. And Steve's going to show you here the foul, the dead ball foul right there. Okay. Nobody gets it. All right. We're not paying attention. We're probably looking at the ball. And in fairness to the field judge here on this play, if he did look at the ball, which he shouldn't be, but he's got to be wondering why the whistle wasn't blown. Why did we let the kid run the ball back? And it just, this turns into a quick cluster. And I won't say the second half of the word. But there's no sense of urgency here on the part of the crew to shut things down, and then we get the blow up hit here. And imagine starting a game this way. And again, as I said a little bit ago, this game's lost, folks. All right, this game's out of the bag. If you're officiating this game, the best you're going to do is try to get out there alive before the game ends, because this is an absolutely unforgivable uh, crew error. And now we're kind of walking around aimlessly. And okay, we're going to now call touchback. And we got a kid laid on the ground, trainers, coaches, other players from his team there. Just look at this optic here. And if we would have started with this, you'd all be saying, "Well, I wonder what happened here." And now that you know what happened here, again, there's probably some disbelief. Like, really? Did this truly happen in 2025? Unfortunately, it did. And this is but one play of 9 high school plays we have picked out, where again, the theme tonight, things we've just got to do better, things we've got to improve upon. If anybody wants to put something in the chat other than I can't believe it, that's fine. But again, this is a really, really bad optic. I am going to intentionally ask for a minute, and I'll ask him to keep it within 30 seconds. But Bob Masucci, if you'd be so kind to unmute yourself, Bob, and just your thoughts looking at this play here on February 17th from last year.
I guess the first thing I thought of was that we had not one, but at least three opportunities to fix this. We had the referee and we had two wings on the goal line. Every one of them should have been in a position to have killed that. So it isn't. So when you say it's a crew mistake, yes, it is. The field judge and side judge, if they're not watching the ball go across the goal line, okay, we can accept that. We've got the umpire coming down in the middle of the field, but we have three officials on the goal line, each of whom had the responsibility to blow that ball dead at that point.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. So back to the whole group here. Okay, it's February. We know that, and we're 6 months away. But at any rate, we look. The bottom line is, folks, and I know I'm preaching to the choir, but let's understand the magnitude of this mistake and the potential for the rest of the game. Somebody's calling your assigner, whomever it is, and saying, "What in the hell is going on here? How are these guys working?" I mean, we could go on and on. The bottom line is this just cannot, we just can't have this. So please learn from it. Keep it in mind. If we can all learn something from it, rules, mechanics, game management, sense of urgency, good for us moving forward. Um, all right, Steve, play number two. So take a look here at the down and distance. Now the kid's in motion, the quarterback rolls and throws. And all right. So once again, one of the things it has to the first play, to this play, and other plays, I think the theme for this year, maybe going into this clinic in August, and maybe each chapter's preseason meeting at some point, is dead ball officiating, dead ball awareness. We're going to see a play here where, I mean, now Steve again, great job with his arrows. Watch how late this is. Now you see the official here. The guy, he's got him down already. It's a pass play. The guy catches tackle. Now watch what happens here by this kid, the number 30, 33 in white. He just lays this kid out way after the play's over. And if you all would kindly take a moment to read Steve's comments here, which are spot on. Okay, not only is it late, but I mean, let's be better dead ball officials. Just because the play is over, just because somebody sounds the whistle, we've got to keep officiating. I learned a long time ago, and I tried to pass this statement on to officials. If someone ever asks you, when is the play really over? Now, most people would say, well, when the whistle blows, or when an incomplete pass or pass incomplete pass hits the ground. Well, from an officiating perspective, if you've never heard this, I'd like you to think about it. The play really ends when, quote, all the players stop moving, close quote. I'll repeat that. A play ends when, quote, all of the players stop moving, close quote. And on this play here, we obviously do not have that. This is probably a good second to maybe 1.7 seconds after the fact that 33 lays this kid out. We don't get it. The officials here are on the blue team sideline. They're going to go crazy. And you can bet at some point during the game, either the kid that got knocked on his ass in blue or a teammate is going to try to retaliate. I mean, that's the way the game works. And, again, was this preventable? Well, the kid's going to do what he's going to do, but the preventable part is, let's call it what it is, a dead ball personal foul on number 33 in white. So, Steve, can you run that one more time? And again, maybe some chats. I don't know if anybody has anything in there, but okay, just pick up 33, who right now isn't even in the pick this kid up now, boom, like that. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're all watching the what? What are we doing
Watching the
incorrectly
ball.
here mechanically? Anybody want to take a shot at that? I would suggest to us we're all watching the ball and not any peripheral action around the ball. And that's how something like this happens and goes undetected. So now you see the coach here, gentleman in the black shirt already. He's not only is he saying first down, I think he's yelling at the referee like, "Hey, look at this." Okay, and the officials coming in. All right, it's more important at this point to look at, keep your head up, not down. Look at the play, look at the action around. And what about the deep wing here, which you can't see him in the picture, but that's his all the way. He's got to have that.
Mhm.
And we just get an absolute late knockdown. Again, what can we do better in 2026? The theme, and I've learned in life, it's not what you coach or what you teach, but it's what you emphasize. The theme is better dead ball officiating. And the first two plays here, not sure we'll find better examples of that. How much uh, better the whole situation would have been. So you're on.
Jim, do you know what the situation was on this and how? I don't remember if the
It was
line to
third and
gain.
nine, Bob.
What was that?
Third down and nine.
Okay, so is this threat? This is threatening the line to gain then,
The line to gain is a plus 34.
right? And I just didn't see where he came down
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we're
it's
saying,
it's close.
okay, it's
It's
close.
close, but
So
he's short, clearly short.
now, just one other thing is if it wasn't, let's say I guess he's the, I don't know what part of the game was. The line of scrimmage official here has got the whistle to his mouth right now. If he knows that that line to gain is not threatened, he sees the guy go down, his eyes should come up. There's no use concentrating on a blade of grass that ball came down on. Get your eyes up, and you can be a dead ball official even though you're the covering official on the play.
Precisely. Yeah. So, Steve, all right, our third play here tonight. All right, we have a sort of an unusual play here. This is actually, I stole this from a college game. Bear with us because it's pretty good video here. This game is in overtime, and the offensive team is behind. Obviously, they're a team called Hope. There's 26. This is a game from the state of Michigan. That's irrelevant, but watch what happens here on this play. Uh, Now you see here. Okay, this is unbelievable. Okay, uh, read the caption there or the comments from Steve to start with. Go ahead, everyone. Steve. So just so we're clear as to what happened here. Okay, then we get a big thing after the game. Okay, we let coaches out on the field. This I was not to talk shop, but in the new position I have with the NCAA, a guy called me about this, sent me to play, and he goes, "What are you going to do about it?" And I said, "Well, fortunately, it's in a regular season and not yet in the playoffs. But the truth of the matter is, this crew, I was actually told by the NCAA Division III committee, they are not working. Period. In the playoffs, they are not working." And then they get together, and it's a big to do. Um, okay, now look at this here. All right, everybody's huddled up. Now I realize it's actually a total of eight officials. Again, that's somewhat irrelevant. We won't have a center judge. We won't have a back judge. You see those two guys in the picture there, but this is just a terrible optic. And Steve, if we can, or maybe from here, run the play again so everybody has a full appreciation of what actually happened. All right. And again, the game's in overtime. You see number four, the quarterback will get the ball, throw the pass. All right. And then all right, he throws it out here. The kid catches it and he throws a backward pass. Okay. And all right. So we have a catch with a backward pass, which that ball should be live. But all that said, okay, we'll go back to the team rushes the field. We're not going to worry about that, certainly. All right. But so you'll see here a catch with a backward pass. Now the kid loses possession, this, that, the other thing. This game's in overtime. Well, as fate would have it, folks, I know you know what's going to happen here. They get together and they rule that it was an incomplete pass, and they give the team another down. And you know what happened. The football gods were there. The football gods are omnipresent. The football gods are everywhere in wherever football is played. And you can guess what happened on the ensuing drive here. Okay. Guaranteed. Here's the coach. He's not a happy camper. Okay. And he was less happy after Alma came back and won the game, which should have already been over. So let this play sink in. Again, regardless of 8 officials, 7, 6, we have a completion, possession established. The kid throws a backward pass, kind of like a hook and lateral type play, as it's called in the TV folks. And it's clearly a catch. The kid throws a backward pass. The defensive coach, the game should be over, but as fate would have it, it's not. And again, the football guys are alive and well, and the officials give the ball back to the team in white, which is a team called Alma College of Michigan, and you can bet all the money you have they're going to score a touchdown and win the game, and that's exactly what happened. And to further whatever, this play turned out to be the only loss of Hope College in the regular season. I ask you each, is this a preventable mistake? Obviously, it is. You say, well, how could this happen? It's probably a lapse in judgment, a lapse in concentration. I don't think anyone, if they see it, you can't possibly think it's incomplete because the kid catches it and then voluntarily throws a backward pass slash lateral. And that just doesn't happen by, happenstance or coincidence. But um, this game happened in early October, and it was again a very very contentious thing for the rest of the regular season. Fortunately, Hope did make the NCAA playoffs. I would hate to think that a play like this would keep them out. That's just a very bitter and tough pill to swallow. Anybody? Unmute, chat, anything here? We're up to 143 people, by the way. Thanks to
Yeah.
each and every one of you.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, if the linesman on the play side here with the chains, if he just punched back when he saw this backwards pass, he could have prevented this with good mechanics.
Well, that's a great point. Who is this, Jacob?
Yes.
That's a great point. Unfortunately, that's the official who's ruling the pass eventually incomplete. So that would express why he didn't punch back. But again, I think he probably had a lapse in judgment. Okay. Again, number 7 has it. He clearly throws it backward. This kid clearly recovers it. And, but your point is well taken mechanically, Jacob. And that's well stated and good thinking on your part. Um, Unfortunately, this guy's judgment just completely abandoned him at this exact moment. And, we've talked about this. And anytime I speak to groups, somebody says, well, what's really good officiating? I mean, it's a myriad of things, but first and foremost might very well be the ability to concentrate on every single play of every single game. And that is a skill. It's not something you're born. You've got to consciously concentrate on it. So, okay. Jacob, thanks for chiming in. Steve, play 4. So this is back to a high school game here. You see, even was field with a play clock. All right, but Steve, go ahead. Watch number 73, and again, think of dead ball officiating. Ugly stuff here. Now watch this kid. It's one thing for that. Now watch it. Just watch. Watch what he does. Okay. Yes. Okay. Nobody calls this. No one calls this, folks. I mean, and that's what we said earlier. Again, dead ball officiating, right? Think how important it is. So if we're going to stay with that theme, here it is again. And we realize 73 years is a big kid, big dude. But regardless, and he hurt the kid. That probably does exacerbate it, make it a little bit worse. But, keep officiating until all the players stop moving after a given play comes to an end. Keep officiating. Steve, can you run that back one more time? And I think 73 is a guard, if I'm not mistaken. All right. And he comes across like trying to trap somebody. And watch what happens here. Okay. It's one thing to do that. Now watch. And nobody gets it. Nobody gets it. Anybody? Any thoughts? Is this a shake my head, oh my God one? Like probably all three have been.
Yeah, there's a few comments in the chat, Jim,
I'd kick
but
him out of the game.
yeah,
I'd kick that kid out of the game.
Is that Dave?
Yes, sir.
Comment?
Yes, sir. I'd kick him out.
Let's say, Dave, you are, in my view, 100% correct. You're not wrong at all. Okay. The number 73 doesn't want to play football. So why should he play football? Okay. This is
I
clearly
think the coach would
a disqualifying flagrant foul.
absolutely.
Yep. And again, Dave, not to be redundant from my end, we didn't even get a penalty on the play.
That kid's looking to hurt that other kid and get him out.
Absolutely.
It's just not right.
He doesn't want to play.
I ain't standing for that. No way.
Good for you. Good for all of us that feel that way. Okay, Steve. All right. Another game from 2025 in NJ SIAA. Team is on their -8-yard line. No. Okay. Ball's in the middle of the field. This is, again, gets back to concentration, rules, mechanics. It's all together. It's all involved. It's like a big pie. You got to put it together, a big puzzle. Steve? Kid goes back. No. Okay. Watch this. You're on, Steve. Okay. Now he throws the ball from the end zone. All right. And the question is, remember the rule, if the ball goes out of bounds, even if it's up in the stands past the 8-yard line, we simply have a what? What do we have, folks?
Incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass. That's it. Incomplete pass. And now it's the next down at the 8-yard line. Okay. Well, look at our short wing here. He's got to make a signal right away. He's got to decide, even though the ball's kind of over his head, he's got to have an awareness of where the ball goes out of bounds. Again, want to be intentionally repeating here. If the ball goes out of bounds and hits the stands at the 11-yard line, the 12, it's perfectly legal. The quarterback's outside the tackle box, and the ball crossed the line of scrimmage. Right? But I don't know that the short wing here, who's now at the 4-yard line, I don't know that he has an awareness that he needs to know that. Okay. And if we don't know what we're supposed to do, we're probably not going to do it. So, now it went, all elements are here. The H don't look, okay, keep your eyes in the field of play, make a judgment. Okay. The L can help you from across the field via the O2O. And if you look at the other side of the field, the L or the H, whichever it is, I don't know, but that guy's already left. Why has he left the 8-yard line? There's no reason for him to have left the line of scrimmage. So mechanically, we don't do well here. Okay. Rules. Do we know the rule? Okay. We do eventually put a flag down for intentional grounding the end zone. The ball then must not have crossed the 8-yard line, even whatever it hit out of bounds in the stands or just on the track, whatever the landmark is. All right. But the rule is the key thing here.
No, it didn't move. Correct.
So we know that the quarterback's outside the tackle box.
The referee didn't move at all either.
and I'm not sure who's unmuted here and stuff, but okay, Mickey, yeah. So the referee isn't really on top of things, but we do at least eventually put a flag on the ground. And because the kid threw the ball from the end zone, it is a what?
Safety.
A safety by rule. Now, what if the kid threw the ball from the -2 yard line? Now we're going from the -2 to the what?
One.
-1, exactly. Loss of down, all that kind of stuff. As you can see from the box, it looks like it was third down, and it must have been a lot of distance because we don't see the sticks at all. So it's third and clearly more than 10 is my point. If you look at the other side where the sticks are. So good
Yeah.
play to discuss. We could have been better mechanically on this.
Sure.
Anybody else in the chat?
Striation, it's a good thing. Like, I took this picture yesterday after the workout. Look at my shoulders.
All right, if you want to say something, please unmute yourself so we know who it is, and feel free to do that or put your comments, as many have done in the chat box. I see 25 comments in the chat box. I don't haven't read them all certainly, but and that's fine. That's fine. But main chat. Okay, here we go. Yeah, and I apologize. I'm just for some reason those are just coming. Okay, all right. Yep. Okay. Thanks for those that they're doing that. So, all right, Steve, play 6. We're back to another kickoff, folks. Now, first of all, look, please, we're kicking off from the 20, so we know that either there was a safety or a touchdown with somehow a 15 and a 5-yard penalty. My strongest guess would be a safety. I think that's what we have here. The next play after this, that's what we have here, right? So we're kicking off from the 20. We know we can kick it off like this, or we can punt the ball, or we could drop kick the ball from the 20-yard line, right? So deep officials here are the referee, the H and the L. You can certainly move up, all right? Instead of the referee being on the goal line, and last year, if you remember our mechanic changes, the short wings, we gave you the latitude, the 10, the 15, based on how far the guy was kicking the ball. So you could be maybe at the 25-yard line here, okay, at the other end that you can't see on the screen. But we certainly want to adjust our mechanics, our positioning. And again, we know by rule, he can kick it off, he can drop kick it, or he could punt the ball as well after safety. So just a nice thing to think about as rare as safeties are. Just a good thing to think about. And again, I'm seeing now all these chat boxes. Thanks, folks. I didn't see them initially. Thanks for chiming in. We're at 145 people. I think that's pretty good for the first of these on a winter night. So, okay, Steve, next play. We'll go ahead. Oh, yeah, because this one. All right, so the guy kicks it, and of course, we know what's going to happen. It's going to go out of bounds. Okay. Now, remember, we kicked it from the 20. So, what is the rule in high school if you kick it out of bounds? If the receiving team wants to take the ball, if it was a kickoff from the 40, went out of bounds at the 10, we know you get it to 35, 25 yards where the guy kicked it. Where would 25 yards be from the 20 line? The 45-yard line. Well, you're going to see the ball here goes out at the 47 of the receivers, and Steve is being anticipatory with his question. All right. We should know this. I personally screwed this up 2 years ago. Similar situation. I still remember it. It won't happen again. My fault all the way. But at any rate, if we take a look at where the ball goes out of bounds on this kickoff, obviously it's a flag. It was untouched by the receiving team. Okay, now we can have them free kick at the 15 or 5 yards to the out of bounds spot and put it from the 47 the other side of the 50 to 48, or just give them the ball at the 45-yard line, which is obviously, my guess, is what the receiving team would like to do, and take possession at the kicking team's 45-yard line. Interesting play. We don't see something like this often. Again, 2 years ago, I totally screwed this up myself. Hopefully, I've learned from it, and maybe a free lesson for somebody else out there.
And where did this go out of bounds? I didn't see it.
At the receiver's 47 is where it's marked out.
The receiver's 47.
Yeah, so
Okay.
3 yards
Okay.
past the 50.
Okay.
So unusual play, but again, just think about these things, folks. And this is the time, not to get philosophical, but this is the time to really think about some rules, stuff like that. And I know that some people preach you spend 5, 10 minutes a day year round, and I get that. There was a time in my life I did that. I'd be lying if I said I still do. But nonetheless, the rule book, you get it each year with the manual for a reason. And hopefully it's not just to put it at the bottom of your bag or in some closet somewhere that you clean out after Christmas. So, Steve? All right, so now this is where we're snapping from the next play. It should have been the 45, not the 48. And that's the purpose of this here, right? Okay. So think about these things again, okay? Certainly the receiving team would rather be 3 yards closer than they'd rather be at the 45-yard line, 1st and 10, rather than at the 48, 1st and 10, the plus 48 versus the plus 45. Now, did anybody catch this? No, they didn't. But I hope we've made some strides in this area. We want to do it right because it's right to do it right, whether or not a coach knows it. And I can hear people now saying, well, coaches don't know the rules. That's true. Sadly, many officials don't know the rules. That's also true. So it's kind of a two-way street there. Yeah. Steve, great play to pick out for
And
the rule
yes.
portion of go ahead, Steve, a free kick after safety.
Well, Steve also pointed out though that this is also belongs on the left hash,
Correct.
not on the upright.
Yeah, thank you, because those of you that know me, and for better or for worse, one of my absolute pet peeves is a kickoff that goes out of bounds. The receivers do not have the option of putting the ball laterally across the field. It has to be, in this case, on the offensive left hash by rule. And if there's one rule that we miss year in and year out, probably with great consistency, it very well might be that, what Bob just alluded to.
And we miss it even more now with all of the fouls being previous spot fouls.
Yeah, good point. Great. Okay. Good job, Steve. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, chat folks. All right. Now we get a play here that has the rule change from 2024. So here's just basically 2 plays in succession. All right. The team's on the plus 48. They run the ball. The kid gets tackled for a loss, but there's a face mask, 15 yards. Where are we going in 2025, 24, and 26 and beyond? Where's the enforcement spot?
Previous spot.
Previous spot. Exactly right, Jacob. It used to be in high school, the end of the run. They finally got rid of that stupid rule. And now we're going to go back to the 48 and go down to the 33. And the ball should be on the now that we snapped it from kind of the middle, it's got to stay there. It's a previous spot foul from a lateral perspective. All right. So now we're talking about a punt from, the kids backed up. They're on the minus 15. And what we're signaling out here is look at the position pre-snap of the referee. That's way, way, way too wide. Plus, if the kid's at the 1 yard line, as his back foot is, if this was me, I would straddle the goal line. Why be 2 yards away from it? Mechanically makes no sense. Just be on the goal line, straddle the goal line, but you can't be so wide that you're literally 1 yard from the sideline. Just too wide. Umpire 10 yards, he's maybe a tad or two deep, but we can live with that. And the short wing up top should be a little bit off the line of the sideline. You see here it's 4th and like 15, 14, because the sticks don't start back at the 10. The line to gain here is like the 31-yard line. So it's like a 4th and 15 play. All right, but that's our manual, and that's just too wide. Now, of course, we know what's going to happen. The football gods are out. The ball gets snapped over the kid's head, and now the referee, you got longer to run to get back to the end line, which is now being threatened by the loose ball, I should say the snap, going over the kicker's head. Go ahead, Steve. Yeah. And he's still so wide now. Oh, my God. What are we doing here, guys? Right? Okay. So this is a case. It's a loose ball. The kid now kicks the ball without picking it up. Okay. Each of you should at least be thinking there's something wrong with that. I'm not suggesting everybody knows what it is, But everybody here should be thinking there's something wrong with that. All right. And ultimately, every play in officiating, is it right or is it wrong? And the first thing you have to know on this play is this is not right, therefore it's wrong. It's a black and white thing. We can't kick a loose ball rolling on the ground anywhere. And of course, in the end zone, that's not considered a smart thing to do. One of my former ACC mentors, who's sadly deceased, told me one time the worst thing you can do in a football game is offend the ball. It's better to punch a kid in the face, and I'm not suggesting we do that or tolerate, but when you kick a ball, you're offending the ball. That's a bad thing to do in a football game. I guess that's because it's not soccer. All right, but look at this. This is illegally kicking 10 yards from the spot. So we know this would be by rule of safety. You know, I don't know if I've seen a play like this in a very, very long time. And of course, now kid's going to pick it up and run it. Okay. All that kind of stuff's going to happen here. Okay. I wonder how many of us on this Tuesday night are glad we weren't in this game and a part of this play. I'm guessing quite a few.
Yeah. Do we know if there was a flag on that, Jim?
Steve, would you know that? I seem to remember it might have been an after the fact thing, Bob, but
Oh,
Steve,
okay.
I believe they got it.
They
yeah,
got it. Okay.
yeah.
If we watch the referee, I think he throws his flag.
Okay.
And folks, it's okay to be late here because you're looking at this and you're processing it. And again, ask yourself this: is it
Yeah,
right?
he got it.
And he is throwing it. Is it right or is it wrong? Well, there's something wrong with this. You can't do it. And that means we drop a marker on the ground, or in this case, sling it in. I'm not too fond of that, but okay. And the receiving team picks it up, runs with it. Okay, we got all now. Think about it. They might very well want a safety and then make the team free kick from the 20, or suppose they're losing, I don't know, by 8 points. They might want the ball here returned to the 15-yard line or 17-yard line, whatever.
The advance.
First and 10 from the 17. But we must give the coach that option because believe me, nobody's going to know what's going on. No one. No one. Okay?
And just remember, this is one of the exceptions to the previous spot enforcement.
In other words, a spot foul, Bob.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And this would have been a spot foul even if it was not in the end zone.
Right. 2-yard line. Same thing, right?
2-yard line, same thing. Right.
Okay. Thanks, Bob. Okay. And this is back to the initial play. So they were the plays that we had picked out from NJSI games, with the one exception that I showed you. This play has become the favorite play of my life to show at clinics. And I'll be on a kind of a tour again starting in March, actually late February, with our Lehigh Valley clinic, and then successive weekends, I think Virginia, Maryland, Ohio, Indiana. But at any rate, for those of you who haven't seen this play, this was in December of 2024. I was personally at this game. And this is, in my view, if you left your house on a Friday night and you met up with your guys at a parking mall or at a mall where everybody parked or something, wherever, and you said, my intention tonight is to screw this game up, I don't think you could have accomplished it any better than these guys did. And of course, they did not leave their home with that intention. But in my view, this is the single worst officiated play I've ever seen in college. But there's a lot of things in high school to learn from it. Number one is mechanics. Number two is game management. If you're a referee, pay attention, please, to the referee that you're going to see here in a minute. Note the score of the time, 5 seconds ago. Team in white is losing by 3. It's the last play of the game. Kid goes back. Great pass in the end zone. Now, field judge, great position, touchdown. Okay. All right. And White thinks they've won. All right. But pretty soon we're going to see that there's a foul way up the field for holding. and watch this kid from White, a big offensive lineman, ran down the field right there at the 3-yard line. He takes his helmet off and fires it into the ground. You can't ignore that. The referee now, focus your attention, please, on the white hat. All right. He calls offensive holding. All I'm going to say about that is it was the only offensive holding call of the game. Okay. I'll leave it at that. We all make judgments on plays. All right. But as the play goes on the video, watch the referee. Okay. Stop it here. All right. Can you stop it there? All right. First of all, referees, please do not hold the football when you're going to give signals. Okay, that's number one. I've never seen this in my life. I'm not saying I'm not mad. I've never seen a referee give a holding signal holding the football. I've never seen that. And again, I was at this game in person on behalf of the NCAA, and I'm in the press box, and I'm looking at this going, none of this is good. And the referee, you can't hear it. I don't think we have the audio, but the referee gets on the microphone and says holding offense, and then he says the game is over, and he holds the ball up. And the word pandemonium was invented, all right, that day, and that on the field in the press box. Go ahead, Steve. Sit back and enjoy, folks. Look at this. Look at this. Honestly? Really?
Over. The Susquehanna University Riverhawks, in an unconventional way, have punched their ticket to the end.
Well, unfortunately, the game was not over. The coach there that you see with the referee, the school is called Bethel College. It's in Minnesota, near Minneapolis. And I got to know those folks this year in my new job. But at any rate, you'll see the chain crew had left, the ball boys had left. It's almost like they're signaling people to come back to the stadium. This has been, again, I could, when I die, I'll be thinking about this play whenever that's going to be. Just everything that you see here, an official running back, he left the field. No, come back. Game's not over. I'm on the O2O going, guys, where are you going? You see this guy's carrying a flag. Look at that look here, the field judge, a ball and the flag, or two flags, not for anything, but you don't want to do that. The coach there yelling at the referee now is saying, you said the game's over, even though he knows it's not. And he doesn't want him to get another play. They got to walk people off the field. Now the officials are going to huddle, and we're still holding flags. Look at this. Look at this. Not for anything, but if you're the field judge there, have the presence of mind to put the flag in your pocket. Okay? Tuck it in. Why are you holding it now? Are we waiting for a bull to run in Mexico or something like that, where the bulls and I mean, what are we doing? Look at this optic here, guys, or folks. Look at this. And then we still have the flag on the ground for the referee, which is totally irrelevant. We know it's going to be a previous spot foul for holding. It's not a spot foul. Just like high school, same exact rule. Okay. Here comes, oh, look, now we can go. Here's the chain crew. They brought those guys back by a PA announcement. And here's the referee. This is terrible, but okay. Holding, offense, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense. He doesn't. Okay. Now, we're having untimed down. All right. And he announces because the play doesn't qualify as a 10-second runoff. But that's even wrong too. I mean, every single thing was wrong. Nothing was right. Nothing. Try to do that on a play sometime. And of course, I'm being cynical. I've never seen anything like this. And the total amount of time, by the way, was 5 minutes and 12 seconds. Imagine that. And by the way, this game's on national TV. Not that it matters, but imagine that. Steve, let's look at 2 or 3 plays from this year's playoffs. Again, mechanical errors that was last year again. Okay, so yeah, we picked up some plays this year that I want to show you tonight. We're stopping right here. Okay, just to set the stage for you. put yourself in this game. This is the first play of the game after the kickoff in a first round game. So put yourself in an NJSIA game in October, November, whenever the first round will be in 2026. And all we have here is a simple run out of bounds up top. That's all it is. And you'll see that neither the L nor the F stops the clock. And the guy runs out. He didn't even tackle. Watch this. And go ahead, Steve. There's number 3 running the ball. Now, I think everybody agreed. Now, nobody stops the clock. Look at this. Look at this. And then both guys walk away from the spot. Okay? I know you can't believe it, so we'll show it to you a second time. Look at this. Now, if you would, Steve, stop it here for a minute, okay? So, not to get philosophical, okay? I'm watching this crew work to ascertain if they're going to work in the next round or a later round. This is the first play of the game after the kickoff. I immediately went to another game and took my notes. Big no. Okay? You say, well, it's only one play. No, folks. No. Okay? This is simple, basic officiating. The guy runs out of bounds at any point in a high school football game or a college or an NFL. The first thing you do is stop the clock. You don't run away from the spot. You don't run with your back to. I mean, this is incredible to me. So I wrote down no. Boom, done. Okay? And you say, well, that might be a little harsh. One of my favorite sayings that I've stole from Clemson University coach Dabo Swinney is, how you do anything is how you'll do everything. And this play, in my view, clearly illustrates that. How you do anything is how you do everything. And we did have this great game evaluated by, in fact, a New Jersey guy named Kurt Wilson. Some of you might know Kurt, lives in Blairstown. And he did the real evaluation. And at the end it says, do you recommend this crew for advancement? And instead of saying, he said, Jim, do I really have to tell you? That's what it said. Okay. So, okay. All right, Steve, 1 or 2 more plays and we'll wrap it up. This play here is a great play at the end of a game. Stop it here, Steve, so we can set the situation. Look at the scoreboard. The team in black, okay, has just scored a touchdown with no time remaining to make the score 18-16. We know they're going to go for 2 to attempt to send the game into overtime. Now, short wings in particular. I'd like you to look at the bottom left. We have number 82, I think it is. Looks like he's the tight end. All right, look up top now. We have a kid who's about at the 4-yard line. We have a kid in a slot who's about at the 5, 6-yard line. And look at the tight end for the team in black on offense. All right, what we're going to rule in this play incredibly, is that the wide out at the 4.5 is covering the tight end. We're going to make that determination pre-snap. When the quarterback goes back to pass, he throws a pass in the end zone to the kid who's the tight end. I want to say his number is 83, but don't hold me. You can see him though. All right, he has his left foot at the 5, his right foot at the 5, and now we're not punching back. Unfortunately, in college we got rid of that mechanic, but in high school, I think we want to put the guy widest out off the line, which would mean the tight end is okay. He's not covered, but we don't do that. We rule that the tight end is covered up. So when the quarterback throws the ball into the end zone, the short wing up top throws a flag for illegal touching because 83 goes down. I think it's his number, and he tries to catch the pass. For once in our life, the football gods were with us because the kid did not catch the pass. Did not catch the pass. Otherwise, we'd have to take it away and make him do it over. But it doesn't matter. But this crew here is from Texas, and the supervisor raved about this crew. Oh, these are my best guys. They're this, they're that, they're that, they're this. Okay. And I called them up after the game and I said, just so you know, the rest of your guys aren't working either, because if this is the best you got, I'm not interested. Okay, that's how it's going to work. Okay, but watch this play and watch the guy up top. This would be at that point in the game would be the H. All right, we switch sides, of course, just like we do in New Jersey high school. But watch this play. Go ahead, Steve. Now, like I said, fortunately or unfortunately, the kid dropped it. What is it, 27? I'm sorry. Okay, but you see the flag on the field from the guy up at the top who's now on the right side of your screen up here. Okay, you'll see the flag come in. Well, he just got done throwing it, but um, this is mind-boggling to me. Totally mind-boggling. How do we call that kid being covered, and now we call it we flag him for illegal touching? Imagine if he'd have caught it. Again, we're taking away the 2-point extra point, and we're going to be in a situation where we're going to force them now to try the extra point from the 8-yard line. Just a really bad thing. So, all right, this will be the last one. I don't think anybody's seen it play. Is this the helmet play, Steve?
There's a few things on this
Yeah.
play.
So I want you to watch everybody up at the top, the wide out in purple at the 48 and the DB. Just watch those two guys and think of this happening in a high school game. Same exact rule. Watch what happens on this play, which I still can't believe. There's some contact now. You see the kid's helmet come off. Now watch the defensive kid. He runs all the way across the field, all the way, all the way, all the way, and nobody penalizes him for participating without a helmet. So, and not for anything. And the truth is, this crew did pretty well. But I see this play, and you'll see the kid again running across the field. You don't get this angle's not good at it, but talking about the kid in white, a defensive back. But the kid ran at least 50 yards at a full sprint without a helmet on in front of at least 3 officials. Again, watch the kid in white at the 48. Just watch him. All right, just contact. His helmet gets popped. He wants to, I don't have time to pick it up. So now he just runs, tries to get involved with the play, tries to get involved with the play. And how do we not see this? But we don't. And we don't penalize it. And, this was, like I said, this is one unfortunate play. But now look at 22. I mean, you got to love this kid. He's hustling like crazy. He sprints back across the field to get his helmet and play the next play.
He played the next play.
Is the chat box blowing up? I see 11 comments. I'm guessing they all say like, how can this be? And that kind of stuff.
One other question, is the left guard off the line? I'm sorry,
Question
tackle.
is the left guard offline. To
Left
be
tackle.
honest with you, yeah, Thomas, to be honest with you, you could probably argue the left tackle's too far back. All right. That's a good pickup on your part. And I like when guys look at the big picture. But that's not like why I put this play on. But it does beg the thought, at least, right? I don't know if you're a short wing, but my guess is that you are. And good for you if you are. Okay. So, I like the fact, like I said, you're kind of, concentrating on your responsibilities. Again, the theme of 2026, let's be better dead ball officials. And maybe the additional thought here is let's eliminate avoidable mistakes. In every play that we saw tonight, without a doubt, in high school, yes, indeed, every one of those mistakes is avoidable. So let's think in those terms. Let's eliminate avoidable mistakes. Dan McGraw, you might be right. Dan put in the chat box, they didn't know the rule, plain and simple. Dan, if that's true, shame on those guys. I don't know. That might very well be it because it's so really incredulous, not sure, but eliminate avoidable mistakes. And let's close with this. Remember, a play ends when all the players stop moving. a play ends when all the players stop moving. So our first 2026 off-season Zoom session is over. Just for those new folks on here tonight, the Central Jersey chapter started these back in 2021, and it would be improper if I didn't give some public kudos to Pete Mandrell, because during COVID, we didn't, nobody was meeting and all that stuff. And I called Pete with an idea and he said, let's do it. And it's been pretty good since. And for those folks that have been a part of this and new folks, again, we welcome you. We thank you. And we hope you'll be back at our next session, which is, I believe, I know we have 2 in March coming up, but I have those, let me just, if somebody doesn't get to me first here, but the next one is going to be on March, I believe it's March the 3rd, Tuesday, March 3rd. Can someone confirm that?
Yes.
Okay.
Timing issues.
Okay. So Tuesday, March 3rd, it'll be the same time. You'll get the email and all that stuff. But again, thank you everyone for coming on, and it's great to see some familiar names and some new names as well. Thanks. Have a good night. Stay well, everybody. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
See ya.
Thank you. All right. See you all.